Well, sometimes in life you have to choose between your heart and your head. That's exactly what this comparison is all about. The Hyundai Creta really is the best seller. It sells about 20,000 units every month, and it does it effortlessly because everybody really thinks that this is the best car, because really for people who think with their brains, it really is a solid package. But people who think with their hearts, there are a few of them, they do buy the VW Taigun because it really is a very good car in terms of driving pleasure. But which one is better for you, and which one has the big advantages, which one has some negative points, we'll talk about all those things in this video review. Do stay tuned till the end, because I'll also tell you some other cars that you can buy for the exact same price and some alternatives which are slightly better as well. My name is Ashimasi. If you've come to this channel for the first time, then please do like, share and subscribe. Now in terms of the looks, both these cars are as different as chalk and cheese. This one is all about squares and boxes. It's a very boxy and square design, but it's instantly recognizable as a VW product, whereas the Creta is all about smooth curves as well as lots of detailing. Well, which one would I choose personally? Well, I think both these cars have their own unique personalities, but the Hyundai Creta definitely has a little more road presence. It definitely feels a little larger, at least on the road, and it also just seems like a more rounded car in terms of design. That said, this one definitely looks more muscular. Let's get started with this video. Well, so here I'm inside the cabin of the VW Taigun, and I have to say that in isolation, it's quite a pleasant place to be, quite a nice place to be. Nice materials all across, plenty of features to talk about in this particular version. Paddle shifters behind steering wheel, button for your cruise control, automatic headlamps, rain sensing wipers, the steering wheel which adjusts both for reach as well as for rake. You also get automatic air conditioning, cool front seats, and of course everybody's favorite feature these days, a sunroof, and that's quite good. The build quality also is very good, very solid sounding doors, and when you compare this car with its rivals, especially the Hyundai Creta, which is the king of the segment, the build quality definitely feels a little more sturdier than that car, but it feels a little behind because it doesn't have the same kind of features. So you don't get the ADAS suite which you do get on the Creta. You don't get features like panoramic sunroof. You don't get features like a full bird's eye view camera, 360-degree camera. So those are certain features which are missing. Also, the sound system on this car, even though it's quite nice to hear, it just doesn't have that same sound effect that the Bose system has on the Creta. So those are things where this car falls behind, which might have been better and could have been making this a stronger package. But that said, in its own right, it's a nice and pleasant place to be. If you like subtlety, if you like soberness, if you like don't want to show off too much, then the cabin of this car will feel quite pleasant and quite an enjoyable place to be. But of course, if you like show off and if you like a lot of those things, then you might say that it's too plain Jane and not to my liking. But I really do appreciate what VW done with this cabin, and it feels like a very premium and very posh place to be, just not posh enough to beat the Creta. Anyways, now let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. Well, then I'm in the back seat of the VW Taigun. You get 3 headrests, which is a good thing. You also get this nice and large arm rest with a couple of beverage holders. You can store it away. Big pockets over here on both the seats, so that is something which is quite good. AC vents, USB Type-C, almost a completely flat flooring area, so you can easily have 3 people over here. The only thing is that it's not a very wide car, so 2 people abreast is decent, but 3 will be a bit of a tight squeeze. Also, you don't get any curtains over here, which you do get on some other rivals now, especially the Creta. So those are things where this car is missing on. But in general, the hip and knee angle is quite good. The seats themselves are comfortable, nice cushioning. Backrest angle seems to be more or less okay. Should have been a little better if it was a little more decline. The incline was not so much, but even then it's quite okay. The front seats have been raised up, and you can sit here like the boss all day long. I think it's a respectable and a comfortable place to be, and I'll give it a decent score of 8.5 out of 10. Now let's not talk about the boot, because I've shown that to you before many times, and I've already shown you how it is big in terms of size and stuff like that. All I have to say is that it's not the class leading boot. The other cars in the segment do have bigger boots, but it's a decent and well shaped boot. Well, so now I'm inside the cabin of the Hyundai Creta, and as I said before, this car just has a certain feel-good factor, it has a certain X factor, a certain positive vibe about itself. Because if you're spending about 20 odd lakh rupees, maybe 19, 20, 21 lakh rupees, depending on the version you choose, you need to be confident about your expenditure. You need to be confident that you've spent it on the right car, and this car just feels right. It might be the plastic quality, it might be the color combination, it might be the overall ambience, it might just be The features, because this car comes loaded with features, but whatever it is, it has a certain positive vibe, it has a certain feel good factor. And if you're going to office in this car, you'll feel positive about yourself. If you're going back home after a long and tiring day at the office, you'll feel relaxed in this car. It just feels nice to be inside the cabin of the Creta. Now let me just tell you about some of the features that this car has to offer. Of course, you all know that this car has completely digital gauges. It also has different driving modes, different traction modes. So if you choose a different driving mode, then the gauges change their color. Paddle shifters on the automatic versions, automatic headlamps. You also get rain sensing wipers. The steering wheel adjusts both for reach as well as the rake. You also get electric seats over here on the driver's side. The left side passenger has to still do it manually, but this one is electric. A huge and massive panoramic sunroof, electric handbrake, cool front seats, dual zone climate control. Yes, dual zone climate control, a feature you don't find on cars which are sometimes even twice the price of this one. So that's also another feature which is very exclusive to the segment. And of course, you also get ADAS features like lane keep assist, lane departure warning, blind spot assist. You also get reverse, collision warning. So in case somebody is coming and you're reversing the car, maybe a biker is coming or maybe a cyclist hasn't seen you reverse, this car will do emergency braking as well for you, so you'll stop and there won't be any chance of you hitting anyone who's coming from behind. So really it has the works. It has comfortable seats, it has plenty of places to keep your odds and ends, and really there's no negative that I can think about inside the cabin of the Creta. If you can think about some negatives, let me know, but I really can't think about any negative. And to be honest, this might sound like a paid review right now. It might seem like I'm talking about all these positives because Hyundai has paid me, but to be honest, once you drive this car, once you sit inside this car, you'll really say that this is the best in the segment. Not only is it the best in the segment, but it's better than all rivals and the best car. If you have a budget of 20, 21, 22 lakh rupees, forget everything, sedans, mid-size SUVs, compact SUVs, large-size SUVs, forget everything and just buy the Creta. 10 out of 10 to the interiors of the Hyundai Creta. Let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. Well, so now here I am inside the cabin of the Hyundai Creta, the back seat, and it's quite a nice place to be in terms of the overall color scheme. There's a nice grey color. It really does brighten up the cabin. This panoramic sunroof stretches all the way to the back over here, just above your head. So it's a massive panoramic sunroof as well. You also get this blind over here, which is integrated within the car. So that is something quite good on the top of the line versions. And you just need to pull it up and tell your driver to drive all the way down to Pune from Mumbai, or maybe down to Chandigarh from Delhi. And that 4-hour journey will really feel very relaxing because the seats also are very comfortable. The knee and hip angle is at a nice 90 degree. The front seats have been raised up so you can stretch your feet, you can keep your files or maybe your laptop over here, or you can also watch it on your lap. Big AC vents, USB Type-C chargers, Bose sound system, and really a very pleasant place to be. You also get an armrest where you can keep a couple of beverages. The only negative is, and it's the only negative inside this cabin, the headrest over here is missing for the central passenger. That's the only thing that Hyundai have forgotten about, or maybe they've missed out, or maybe then they've done some cost cutting, I don't know, but that's the only thing which is missing. Apart from that, you really can't fault anything inside this cabin. It is a fantastic place to be, but nothing in life is perfect, and this is the only missing bit which doesn't make this cabin perfect. So Hyundai, if you're listening, do add that headrest because it does add to the safety of the central passenger. Apart from that, great comfort, great ambience, great features, both sound system, blinds, everything works very well. And if you're a chauffeur driven customer, you will definitely prefer the backseat of this car over any other car in this segment. Maybe one car is there which is slightly better. It's the Hyundai, it's not the Hyundai, it's the Honda Elevate. That car has slightly better space in the back. You can check out my video review of that car as well by clicking in the box below. And of course, in today's comparison, if you're talking about the comparison with the Taigun, no comparison, the interiors, the front seat, the back seat, everything, the Creta is the clear-cut winner. Thanks guys for watching. Now let's not talk about the boots and stuff like that, because the boot, again, this guy is the winner. You'll again say that I'm being biased. So let's not talk about the boot because this car wins the battle of the boot as well. Let's get straight to the driving bits. Drive the Taigun first and then this one. Well, so now here I am driving the VW Taigun. I have to say that the difference between this car and any other rival, especially the Hyundai Creta, is chalk and cheese. Yes, the difference really is between chalk and cheese, or apple and oranges, whatever you want to use your, thing as. Now, the thing about this car is that VW has focused purely on driving pleasure on this car, and that's something which truly shows as soon as you start it and you start driving it off, because it is a very good car for drivers. Now, today we've got the 1.5 turbo. There's also 1 liter turbo in case your budget is slightly low, but I would definitely advise you to spend a little more cash and go for the 1.5. Now, the reason for that is simple. The 1 liter is quite good, but there's a lot of turbo lag on that car. And to compensate on that turbo lag, you will, of course, want to use the accelerator. And of course, when you use the accelerator too much, then the fuel efficiency drops, but not on this one, because this one has a 1.5, which is bigger in capacity. It also has cylinder deactivation. And with cylinder deactivation, this car delivers you good fuel economy, because only 2 cylinders work instead of the 4 when you're coasting or cruising on the highway. And that's something which really does help overall fuel economy on the Taigun. So that's something which a lot of customers will really appreciate about this car. What you'll also really appreciate is the steering wheel. It's a very crisp, very dynamic steering wheel, very sharp. And even when you push this kind of corners, it gives you that seats of pants kind of feeling. It really does connect you very well. It hooks up to the road and gives you very positive feedback, very genuine feedback. And it is a fantastic steering wheel to use as well. So that's also something which is quite good. What you'll also truly appreciate about this car is the fact that the ride comfort, well, it's a very good car, very pliant ride, slightly on the firmer side. The suspension setup has been tuned to keep it a little on the firmer side, but that means that highway stability is rock solid. Yes, this car feels much more stable than my X ever did. And when doing speeds of about 100 kph, 110 kph, 120 kph, you just feel like, you can do those speeds all day long without any fuss, and it just feels like a fantastic place to be in. In fact, when you compare it with a car like the Hyundai Creta, this is definitely the better car for keen drivers. This is definitely the car which people will enjoy driving and really appreciate on a daily basis. You, of course, get a manual, and you can also choose the automatic. The 7-speed dual clutch is a fantastic gearbox as well. Very, very slick gearbox. You don't know when the gears are actually shifting if you're driving in full automatic mode. But of course, if you do use the manual settings, use the flappy pedals over here behind the steering wheel, the gears shift very quickly, it just takes milliseconds for the gears to shift. So that's also something which a lot of customers will truly enjoy about this car. Visibility is quite decent as well. The side view mirrors aren't the biggest, but they do have a good field of view. The middle one over here is also decent, and of course you can see the edges of the bonnet. And the good point about this car is that it's not as bulky, doesn't feel as large and bulky as maybe the Creta or the Seltos, those cars do. So it feels much easier, it doesn't feel cumbersome. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't feel as cumbersome to drive as those other cars, and that's something which a lot of customers will again really enjoy about this car, and also really appreciate about the VW Taigun. So overall, it's quite a good car to drive. It's quite a good car to sit in. Ride comfort is excellent. Yes, it's slightly on the firmer side, which means that sometimes those badly plastered roads, those bumpy potholes could filter in, but it's really a rarity. The engine also is very refined, very nice, and there's a little bit of turbo lag below 1400, 1500 RPM, but once you cross that mark, it just flies and it just enjoys to be revved all the way up to its tread line of 5,500, 6,000 RPM. So very good car in all those departments as well. Anyways, if you truly are looking at a driver's car, then this is a great choice. If you want a fuel economy car which gives you great fuel economy, then choose the Hyundai diesel, the Creta diesel. The link is in the box below. You can also choose the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara hybrid. The link is again in the box below. And you can also have a look at the Toyota Urban Cruiser Hyryder. You can also check that car out. The link is in the box below to check out the video reviews of all those cars. Time for me to stop over here now, because I've really enjoyed driving this car. Well, so here I'm driving now the Hyundai Creta. Now, this car, as I said before, comes with the maximum engine and gearbox options. So you get this one, which is one of the best sellers, the IVT petrol. It really is a strong seller. So you get this one. You also get this petrol in manual. You can choose a turbo petrol as well. And the turbo petrol, of course, is the one which a lot of enthusiasts will go for. You can also choose a diesel if you really want fuel efficiency, and you can also get an automatic on the diesel. But today we'll talk about this one, because this is one of the best selling cars in their range in terms of the variant. Yes, the SX or the SXO option, along with the IVT and petrol, is a strong seller in the Hyundai Creta range. Now, what is this car all about? The first thing you really like about this car is the sheer refinement level. Yes, the refinement on this car is quite good. The engine remains largely quiet. It's only when you really rev it up hard and you don't really want to get the performance going. The CVT gearbox, it has that rubber band effect, and once that rubber band, the performance on this car is really very generally good, because it's a very solid engine. It's not the quickest gearbox in the world, because CVTs are known to be quick. they're more for relaxation. And if you want quick acceleration, then of course there's that rubber band effect also, which comes into play, because the engine tends to become a little loud and noisy, but the progress isn't there as much as you'd like it. So that is definitely there, but it's not as much as it is on some other cars. Maybe some cars like the Honda Elevate, where there's a lot of noise but no progress. This one has progress proportionate to the noise levels that the engine makes. So that's something which is out of the way. If you choose the manual, the gear shifts are quite accurate and quite light as well. And even on this one, the gear lever is quite easy to use up and down. And of course, it's a light gearbox or a light gear lever, so it's not too much of a hassle. The steering wheel also is nice and light to operate. And of course, you get very good visibility because of these chunky mirrors. So in general, it's a very hassle-free car to drive. Now, what you will appreciate about this car is the fact that it's meant for comfort. Yes, Hyundai engineers have done a very good job with the overall setting of this car. They've tuned the suspension more for comfort rather than for outright performance, and it shows when you take this car out on those rumble strips, on those badly patched up roads. Wherever you take it, this car just feels nice and relaxed and very comfortable indeed. So that's something which is quite good about this car. What you'll also like about this car is, of course, the fact that this car feels very well cocooned from the outside. So it feels like an abode of quietness and calm, and that's also something which is quite good. Yes, the steering wheel isn't the sharpest, and it's not the most quick-witted steering wheel, especially when you compare it with a car like the VW Taigun. So it doesn't feel as sharp and as quick-witted as that car. But that said, it is decent, and most buyers will not find too many reasons to complain about it. So these are the things which make this car quite good. As I said before, it's meant more for comfort rather than for outright performance, and that is one area where it falls behind its main rival, the VW Taigun, because the Taigun is completely different. It's as different as chalk and cheese. Anyways, time for me now to stop the car and give you some kind of a summary report. Well, so who wins today's battle? It's quite clear that the VW Taigun is an exceptional car when it comes to pure driving pleasure. The engine on this car, the 1.5 turbo, is a beauty to drive. The driving dynamics, really, even the turbo version of the Creta cannot match those driving dynamics. So really, it is fantastic car to drive. That said, the interiors, the features, the comfort, the ride, everything on the Hyundai Creta is better. And that simply means that even though this car will have your heart in terms of the pure driving thrills, the Creta is the one to go for if you really want an all-round package and a better all-round package. It feels a little more premium as well. The interiors feel a little classier, and they also feel better equipped in terms of the equipment, in terms of the feel-good factor. That car definitely has the advantage. What I'm trying to say is that in today's comparison, if you had to choose one, definitely the driver in you would choose this one, but the family man in you and somebody who thinks from his head would definitely choose the Hyundai Creta. Not a bad car in its own right, definitely a strong product and a very desirable product, but the Creta just feels like a better rounded package. So in today's battle, as usually in life, the head wins over the heart. It's bye for now, and thanks for watching.